What is going on, everyone, and welcome to Around the Metaverse, our weekly show. We bring together some of the best content creators from the blockchain or Web3 gaming community. What am I talking about? It's not blockchain anymore. And give you guys everything you need to know to stay up to date. I mean, well, there'll be a new buzzword in 12 months, right? Whatever.
Right, we're gonna ditch Web3 in the next bull run, and let's go, yeah.
But yeah, my name's Adam. I'll be your host today. But more importantly, we've got a great group of guests for y'all as always. First and foremost, we've got Stache in the house. How's it going this Monday, Stache?
Woo! You know, I gotta say, man, guys, my heart is broken. My heart is broken. I literally was in a PvP match playing Illuvium against Kieran Warwick, CEO and founder of Illuvium, and there was 5 ILV on the line for everyone in chat, for everyone watching, to give away for the last match, and I was match for match, and we went to the final round, and he just barely beat me, man. I was so pissed, so mad. But
man, the stakes were high, man. I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
I didn't even know.
The stakes were high, my friends, and I'm sorry I let you guys down. I'm so sorry.
Well, we're gonna have to get a rematch on the books next round. Team Stache next round.
Yeah.
But next up, we've got a great group of guests for y'all. We've got some returning faces and some new ones on the show tonight. We've got FlyeKitesJay, Seedify Ambassador, and working with the folks over at Double Protocol, aka Sanjay. How's it going, Sanjay? Good to have you on the show again.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here, and always a pleasure joining Around the Metaverse and Alex and Mr. Stache here. Yeah, super excited. I haven't talked to the other guests before, so I'm excited to talk to them as well.
Hell yeah, man. Well, happy to have you back on the show. We've got some interesting stuff lined up for you guys to talk about today. But next up, another returning face who hasn't been on here in a while, and that's my fault. I'm gonna say first off,
throw him under the bus.
We've got Miss Teen Crypto, host and creator of the Daily Zest podcast here, keeping it zesty as always. And I want to apologize and say that it is my fault you haven't been on the show in nearly a year. That's on me. I effed up, but it's great to have you back.
Thank you for having me. As always, it's good to see you guys. I feel like, I'm back in my metaverse home, so I'm happy to get after it and talk some gaming today.
You know,
Awesome.
I will say maybe it's because she's just become too popular. If you did try and invite her, I don't know if she'd have time in her very busy schedule.
Are you kidding? For you, Stash? You're like my OG bestie, and I have your little stasher in my home. I still have it. We'll never lose
Mustache
it.
love, mustache love.
Mustache love. Yeah, I mean, Misty and Crypto.
We go way back. We go way back. Way back. All the way back.
Is an OG, for real OG.
Yeah.
And then last but certainly not least, we've got a new face to the show. We've got our senior agent in the GIA and longtime gamer, Tardun. How's it going, man?
Hey, good, thanks. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to talk about the topics that we have lined up for tonight. I think we have some pretty good things to talk about, especially with Illuvium, and a pretty good precursor with you playing a game already before we get into it. So
Yeah.
it's an exciting night for around the metaverse.
Yeah.
That was not planned. Well, I mean, it was planned, but not
planned like that.
Not planned like that. So yeah, it's cool. And I guess we haven't even announced that, but we're going to be talking about a couple different things tonight. First, I mean, I don't know if you guys just saw, but literally like within the last hour, GTA 6, the trailer was supposed to come out tomorrow. It just got leaked. So we're going to be taking a look at that here quickly, and then also talking a bit about if GTA 6 might be an ad-filled nightmare, kind of talking about something that happened with Ubisoft here in Assassin's Creed recently, where a pop-up ad just came up while someone was playing the game, and if that might be the future of advertising in the metaverse and gaming. And then we're going to be taking a look at Illuvium and Team Liquid's partnership here, and talking about if esports teams are getting serious about Web3, or if it's just another, it's the bull run, guys. Time to pull out all the PR, right? Time to pull out all the PR, baby. Crypto's hot again. Get ready for every single person and their mother to be like, how can we associate ourselves with this, and then 5 months later completely deny it. But no. First, let's take a look at this GTA 6 trailer, and then get in a little bit on what we think advertising might be like in gaming in the future.
Let's go. Oh, why is it not coming through?
Oh yeah, I don't see it.
Hold on a second.
Pending
There it is.
technical
All right.
difficulty. There we go, guys.
I mean, I would love to hear what you guys think, because we're talking like so far it looks amazing.
They can't hear us?
No.
Oh,
They can hear me, but they can hear you guys. But in general, in chat, I would love to hear what you guys think. Like, it looks amazing so far. Wow.
It does look very Miami.
I know. Sad I'm leaving.
Confused about the rumors that it was going to be around the Toronto GTA, and then it ended up over there.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a little bit. Like, you guys see, the trailer is pretty fire. Definitely go check it out. Woo. It's hot. What were you saying, Ryan? You said it definitely looks like Miami? Yeah. Yeah.
It's definitely Miami-esque. I'll say
Vibes.
that.
I know. I firsthand. That's Vice City, baby. We out here. No, but I think that game looks. I mean, we've been waiting for years, right? We've been waiting for years, so it better look great. And I don't think it's saying much that like everyone is probably blown away by the trailer and can't wait for that game. And I imagine it's going to be like the biggest game release of AAA games, let's say, maybe in the whole world. Whenever next year when it does come out, I'm sure it'll probably be around there. If not, who knows? Maybe there'll be a Web3 game that breaks out and challenges the likes of GTA when it launches. I don't know, but Stashes, no.
Look, man, I love Web3 games. I'm being real. Like, no, there's nothing that will approach GTA 6 at all in anytime soon that's Web3 enabled, unless it's GTA. Unless it's literally GTA. If it's not GTA, then it's not going to be anything else.
Just let us hope. Just let us have the hope.
Oh, I'm sorry. I changed my mind. Yes, of course that's going to happen.
But we wanted to, after showing
Pump
you guys
bags.
that, we kind of wanted to like sidetrack this original topic a little bit to show you guys that new trailer GTA 6 dropped. But we were going to talk originally about Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed in something that's kind of been making the rounds on Reddit and different gaming magazine releases and circles and things like that, where a player went to open his map while playing the game, and a pop-up ad for a new Assassin's Creed game came up instead of his in-game map. This caused outrage across the gaming community, and people were saying that this is unacceptable and things like that. And Ubisoft even went as far to say that like, oh, it was a technical error that caused this. And like everyone, that's some BS if I ever heard it, because like what really happened is it probably was a technical error of them testing out the new system that they're going to be like incorporating into games, where every time you pause the game, there's going to be some kind of like that's a new opportunity for advertisers to get in front of you, right? And so like this sparked a lot of discussion with gamers about if this should be acceptable in games, if there's no way around it stopping it, and like what the future of advertising looks like, particularly with games. Tardun, let me start with you first, man. I mean, do you think the pop-up was actually due to like a technical issue, or is this like Ubisoft like testing out their new a new advertising opportunity and revenue stream with games?
I think it was kind of a gray area where I look at it. Like, obviously, they're developing something for that to have happened, but I don't think they meant for it to come out at that point. Where I could see something in that style of ad where they did it would be perhaps like a tiered system. Like maybe if you bought the physical copy or a digital copy full price, whereas if you do like a monthly rental cloud subscription or something, they might want to throw an ad in there or something like that, similar to what Netflix was looking at. I don't know if they already incorporated that, but the tiered system. So I could see them doing something like that in the future, because there's going to be advertisements jammed everywhere they can get them. But I don't think that they intentionally meant to release that at that point. They probably knew the audience was going to react that way too. You have to have some sort of justification before you just start throwing ads into things that people fully pay for. I find that pretty unacceptable.
Well, I mean, you find that pretty unacceptable. I find that pretty unacceptable. I mean, I'm sure most reasonable people would find that pretty unacceptable. But my money is on that the game studios are not reasonable, and that this is coming whether or not we like it. Stash, let me ask you, man. I mean, like, do you think that advertising is going to remain like a main aspect that all these tech platforms, even games, have like incorporated into their business model? And like, will all the AAA studios follow suit if this is something that comes from Ubisoft? And are we just going to have pop-up ads or even more ads in all of our games from now on?
Yeah, I mean, I think that first off, would people get mad at this? Well, if they're a mobile gamer, probably not, because it's very common in mobile gaming, right? You're playing freaking pop-up ad. Damn it, it's a free-to-play game. You've gotten used to it, right? Everyone can agree with this. I think everyone can agree that happens in mobile all the time. Now, sure. Everyone then says, in gaming, says mobile is next. Mobile is the biggest thing. It's the biggest demographic of gaming. That is where everything is going. Everything's going to converge into being mobile, cross-platform, PC as well. So then what happens when that truly does take over? When mobile takes over, like everyone says it's going to, and it's the biggest narrative, and that's what everyone's comfortable with, is having pop-up ads in a free-to-play game, then you're right. We'll see the GTA6s or the Fortnites, or free-to-play probably first, using that as a method. Like, hey, you want to play for free? Sure, you can, but you're gonna have to wade through the ads. We can sell up to 80% of our users' screen before they go into epileptic shock, right? I mean, that's kind of, before you give them like a seizure, right? And I think that we'll see more and more of this. Now, some of these games will be clever and they'll do more, partner in-ad advertising, which we see a lot with popular games like Fortnite, where they have brands come in and they do activations. And I think that's the style of advertising that I think is more accepted by a PC gaming market. And honestly, is better advertising in general anyways. You're going to get better returns from something like that. But I could 100% see like a GTA incorporating something like this. Maybe doing a little bit of both, right? Doing some in-game branded partnership ads where you're in-game and you're seeing the ad, right? Not a pop-up, but within gameplay. Think about a quest or something in GTA 6 that is sponsored in some sort of way. And so you see these things pop up within the actual gameplay itself. That is definitely coming. If it's not coming for GTA 6, I would be surprised in some sort of way. Maybe not for like the main campaign, but for DLCs and things down the line. They don't want to throw something out right away that's going to turn people off. But we will see more of this. I definitely think we will. Ubisoft, kind of testing that. Was it an error? Sure, but that was still meant to pop up while you're playing your game, not just some random thing that pops up, at some other point. We don't really know exactly for sure, but that's the way I look at it, right? So yeah, I do think that we'll see more and more of this, and I think we'll see more gamers probably pushing back. But as mobile narrative takes over, I think people are more and more comfortable with that scenario. And we could see something like a Ready Player One where you literally are playing and it's free to play and you got all these things taking up parts of your screen. Because hey, if we're spending $1 billion to make a game and we're going to offer it to everyone for free, what are we getting in return? We got to get something. And right now, I think that there's such competition that all these larger studios are still kind of, hey, we're vying for users. We need to be able to make sure that they're here. And right now, that narrative is free to play with no kind of barrier to entry. But we could see something like what Tardun was saying, and where there's a tier system, where there's the free version with ads, and then you can pay the premium to get the premium version, right, with no ads. Why wouldn't you do that in gaming? It makes total sense. And that combined with the merger of mobile, I think that's a winner for the developers. Now, is it a loser for us?
Yeah.
Maybe, or maybe we were already getting too much for free.
Well, I think the answer to that question depends on who you ask.
Well, are we getting too much game for free? I mean, they're selling the data, I'm sure, but
well,
is that enough?
Rockstar famously claimed that the amount of game you're going to be getting with GTA 6 is worth over $160 or something like that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you bring up a good point there. And, I think the reference to Fortnite is a good one too, because I would absolutely hate seeing pop-up ads start to become more common in gaming. But for example, if GTA went along the lines of maybe every month there's a new store in one section of the mall area that's the Balenciaga store or the the Supreme store or whatever it is, right? And those are the type of activations and ads that are cool. People they're yeah, man, I'll go buy a Gucci belt in or I'll go steal a Gucci belt in GTA 6 or something like that, right?
Right. Well, that's the difference. I mean, I think those types of advertising are more likely for gamers to like them, but they're way, way harder to do. Significant amount of time has to go into those activations, right? A pop-up ad is super simple, man, and it's going to be way cheaper, right? Maybe not as effective, but you could get more people and more money going through because you can do it quicker.
Well, all right, gamers out there, boycott pop-up ads in games. I'm starting it right now. All right.
Unless you're a mobile gamer and be okay with it.
All right, but
nobody likes it. I know nobody likes it. I know
Let me ask you, MTC. I mean, why do you think it is that mobile gamers are more inclined to be okay with pop-up ads and things like that? And I mean, I agree that mobile gaming is the largest gaming market there is, but I think we're moving to a place where gaming is going to transcend beyond the device. And so what does that even mean necessarily? I guess in games that are casual games, pop-up ads might be okay, but MTC, what do you think? Why do you think mobile gamers might be more okay with that?
Speaking as a person that's kind of been on the iPod, the iPad ever since it came out, and being on those mobile games, ads have been shoved in your face since day one. I remember the biggest thing when I was first getting apps and being on the App Store and such was getting games that were for example, Flappy Bird Lite. And then to get the ad free, you had to get a separate app and pay for that. And then you would get no ads and a bunch of other stuff included. So I think just from day one, it's kind of been ingrained in us that advertisers obviously play a huge part in the game, its profits, and obviously our experience. So I think it's just something we're so used to. It's the new norm. And I think what you mentioned before as a pause in a game being something for an ad, we already see that on streaming services. For example, something like Peacock, right? You pause Peacock, and then what happens when you're pausing before you go back and press play again? There's an advertisement sitting there waiting for you. So yeah, it's just something we expect nowadays, where it's just ad free. What is that? It's not something we experience ever.
I mean,
and you're still paying for Peacock, and you're still paying for Peacock.
Yeah, right. So it's just it's something that it's just you have to deal with. We look on YouTube, we watch for free, yet we have ads shoved in our face. But then if you get the YouTube premiums, oh sheesh, then you might not have to watch some ads. But then in the future, it's just gonna be too expensive. They're gonna price people out, where they know you're gonna have to deal with the ads, and that's just what they know.
Inch by inch,
Look,
inch by
look,
inch, the
Like they're
advertisers
They
closing
are
you
will.
doing
out.
this.
That's
They
the
will. And
thing.
look, like Fortnite, what they'll do is they'll start packaging with their battle pass. They'll say buy the battle pass for the season, you'll get no ads, and it'll be an even bigger boost for something like that, right? Like so you'll have to do it every season.
I mean, you're crazy if you're playing Fortnite a lot and not buying the battle pass. So
Maybe you don't want. Maybe you just don't care about skins. There's people out there that really don't give a shit about skins. The skins don't make you a better player, and some people just don't don't care about them. There's some crack-ass people out there with a
anyone
default
out
skin.
there who's putting multiple hours of a day into Fortnite and not buying the battle pass is literally.
I think it's more than you may think.
Does not know how to value their time. All right, that's all I have to say there. But
Look,
Sanjay,
hold on. My daughter is 13. She doesn't buy the battle pass, and she plays tons of Fortnite with her and her friends. So
yeah, but does she ask you about buying the battle pass?
No. She may eventually.
Sure.
She may actually. Who knows? I just upgraded her computer. Man, and now she's got a badass rig, and so she might actually. We'll see.
Does she play Fortnite on the PC?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
Master Race.
Yeah, well, yeah, you got her started early.
As it should be.
Most people go from like handheld to console to like graduating to a PC. You just right off the gate into the professional, stadium.
Yep.
Like no
mean,
messing around.
They don't experience wanting to throw the controller,
And you can still throw a mouse. You can still smash a keyboard real good.
For sure.
No, Sanjay, I want to ask you about this, man. I mean, like, okay, so first, do you think that like ads, the continued perpetration of more and more ads is inevitable, like Thanos level inevitable? And like, if that's the case, I mean, like, what's the end game? Like, are we gonna end up like with ads being beamed directly into our eyeballs via Elon Musk's Neuralink through, whatever new it is, like
Riddler tech.
Yeah, like what's stopping? What do we do to stop that from the sci-fi nightmare from happening? Like,
y'all don't know about that. Like, I don't even think you guys got a reference. All right, go.
Yeah, first of all, I think it's inevitable. Like even today when we talk about, I hop on a lot of Twitter spaces and there's a lot of metaverse projects always, like talking about why we're different, what we're gonna do, how we're gonna change this stuff. And they always talk about how they can put billboards of brands around in the game or in the metaverse. So showing ads in the metaverse, I think that's not like surprising or shocking whatsoever, at least not to me. Even like Byte City recently, they did like a collab with Bruce Lee, and they did like, they put Bruce Lee everywhere inside the map. And obviously it was one-off partnership, but then obviously it must be expensive. And then there's going to be tiers of those partnerships where you can be like, hey, you can only pay $1,000 and you can have it for the weekend. Or if you pay $10,000, we can put you up for 2 weekends or 3 weekends straight in a row. So we'll definitely have that. And I think that's inevitable. There's no way to go about it, around it. I just saw a TikTok yesterday where there was this company who's giving out free televisions, 4K televisions, like 50-inch, 60-inch televisions, free, completely free of cost. They'll deliver it to you, whatever. Here's the catch. Here's the TV, and then there's a little under screen which comes with it, and ads are being shown on that screen 24/7. And you can't cover it, you can't turn it off. It has to be connected to internet throughout all the time. There's a camera which is watching you, and obviously blah blah blah. You have to like go through that stuff. And people are getting that TV because they just want a free TV. They're okay with those ads. So there's like a lot of people out there who are okay with ads being beamed on their face just because they get a free 4K TV. And in the future, I think there's going to be like bigger incentives for people to do that. They're going to give you bigger incentives and people will be inclined to do more. And then eventually the only way to really, be like, to save yourself from this is to just make enough money that you can buy the higher tier of whatever membership they're offering you, that you can just kind of like shut your brain to all this brain rot advertisements, right? Buy the premium plus, premium triple plus, whatnot, just so you don't have to watch these ads. I think that's the only way to go around it. Attention is everything, and they want your eyes on their products. So free game or no free game doesn't matter. I think ads are always going to be there, and the only way to go around it is to get the best premium options available.
Dude, you just described about that.
There's lots of that. I mean, there's lots of that, man. I that's not. I don't think that's a new thing. And I think that we'll see more of that actually, probably.
I think they can't hear you.
You guys can't hear me?
What?
I think the audio's off for like all of us. They're saying in the thing in the chat that they can't hear you guys.
I think it's back now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me now?
It's back now. Yeah, it's fine.
Sound check. It's a sound check.
Yeah,
Do you
it's
guys
back-
watch Piano Matty B? He does sound checks on his
Yeah,
Friday,
it's
Saturday
okay.
night streams.
I like
Yeah.
Matty.
All right. Well, in that case, also, shout out Retro Mike for the super chat earlier too. I saw that and forgot to shout you out. Super Mike or Retro Mike, thank you very much for the super chat. And then also, I think Gen X was saying he didn't realize that MTC changed. Well, she didn't change her name to Randy. It's always been Randy.
Yeah, whoa.
It's the name
Go
I was
figure.
born with.
It's always been Randy. But yeah. I hope you guys can hear me now. We're gonna continue. We're gonna continue on. But yeah, on to our next topic here. Good segues from technical difficulties present in that. We're gonna be taking a look at our esports teams getting serious about Web3 here with an announcement coming that many of you probably saw last week with Team Liquid having an official partnership with one of our favorite games here on the channel, Illuvium. They just dropped their crazy PvP, which maybe you were just watching Stache play a little bit of with the founder and CEO Kieran. But I want to ask you guys your opinion about this partnership, because it seems like there's a little bit more meat to this bone than, like, say, for example, the esports partnership that Guild of Guardians did, where in this case, okay, good, they can still hear me. All right, in this case, they're actually working, like, consulting with Illuvium on the PvP mode of the game. They're going to be co-hosting a tournament with Illuvium with a $100,000 prize pool. And then they're also going to be releasing a collection of Team Liquid collaboration, Illuvium collaboration Illuvatars, which you guys will be able to get in on eventually. But Tardun, let me ask you first, man. I mean, like, did you see this announcement, and like, what was your honest opinion of it? I mean, do you think that Team Liquid is getting serious about Web3 games, maybe, or is this just like, hey guys, the market's up, like, let's start doing some PR with Web3 companies because prices are up, like, or, what do you think?
I checked it out, and from what I gather from what they said, I think they're actually going to make an actual play to get into Web3 and try to bring their audience with them. So, I mean, it makes sense. It's a good connect. It's a good connect from Web 2 to Web 3. It's Illuvium, is a decently established game within the community now. Everyone knows Liquid. So, I mean, it's just more exposure. So I think this is a good thing, even if it's short term, but they're saying that they want to be there to help them with the multiplayer aspects and whatnot. So it looks like they're here for a long haul. So I think this is going to be a positive thing for everybody.
Yeah, man. I mean, hopefully we see more esports teams like actually make genuine steps like this, because I tend to agree with you that, like, again, versus the Guild of Guardians promotion that was just like, let's stick our brand on here and try and get some web
and sell some freaking loot boxes.
Yeah, yeah.
This feels like more of a partnership.
Yeah.
While they are selling something, right?
Well,
there is more to it, right? There is more to it. But Sanjay, let me get your opinion next, man. I mean, like, do you think this, like, do you think that this is going to go well for Team Liquid? I mean, things are really lining up right now for massive attention to be coming into Web3 gaming, and for all of the hard work that Web3 games have been doing over the past 2 or longer years to be recognized. I mean, like, do you think that this partnership might extend beyond all those, like, the consulting on the multiplayer aspect, running this tournament, and launching the Illuvatars? I mean, could you see this being something even longer term than that, and what might that look like?
Yeah, I think I don't know what is the deal they made behind the scenes, Like this is a partnership. They say, oh yeah, collaboration or whatever, but maybe did Illuvium pay Team Liquid? Did Team Liquid pay Illuvium? Was there some sort of exchange or not? There's a high probability that there was. And if that's the case, then yeah, sure. As long as you keep paying these esports teams, they're going to be like happy to take your money and deal with you and work with you. Right. So especially esports teams, because we can't put them on a pedestal. But at the end of the day, we know how bad down they are when it comes down to their finances. So they will be happy to take Illuvium's money. They'll be happy to take Shrapnel's money as long as the game is half decent with a half decent team and half decent community, which they can put in front of like 100,000 people and still not get, a backlash from it. So I can definitely see it going, longer if this is how the plan is, like if this is how the deal was structured, where the game was paying, esports team to come on board as advisors and just kind of work with them for like a season or two. So it can definitely happen more than that. But if it was just straight up natural collaboration where Team Liquid want to partner with Illuvium and see if the esports world will welcome Illuvium, this is a very risky play because we still know the sentiment around NFTs and crypto gaming, and people like gamers might boycott it just because it's an NFT game. Not because the game is bad or good, whatever. They don't care. They might just boycott it because it's an NFT game. And if that happens, then Team Liquid will just like take another step back, and other esports games will also take another step back. They'll be like, hey, we tried. Gamers are not about it. Need more time. So it can go either ways, right? And that's my stance on it. I think it can go either ways, really.
Well, yeah, and I mean, let's hope that it goes the right way too, because like, I agree with you that there's still a ton of hesitance from the or the traditional gaming community about Web3 games, and for good cause too, or for good reason. But like, I think we're at a point right now where there are about to be a ton of good games releasing, or maybe have just recently launched. And like, I think Illuvium, many people have said this, but Illuvium is lining up to be among one of several games either launched or coming out that have the gameplay to back it up, right? That like, I could see people who enjoy team fight tactics liking this game or something like that. And that being said, it's like, maybe we could sway some people's opinions. Stash, let me ask you. I mean, like, if this goes well for Team Liquid, if they sell out all of the Illuvatars, it's a massive hit, right? The tournament that they put on gets national esports media coverage, right? Do you think that other esports organizations are gonna see this as like all right, let's get in, like it's time, we can finally do it now?
No. Back to you, Alex. Not as good. Look. So, will other teams do it? Not. I mean, yeah, if there's money, and they'll continue. We've already seen this. We've seen C9 do it. We've seen, TSM is getting involved in some things. We've seen multiple esports organizations dabble their little toes, dingle them into Web3, but only if the money is there, right? We know that. So, like, what is the advantage for Team Liquid to be partnering with Illuvium? There is none. The only advantage is they have money that they're willing to burn, which is a great thing for esports teams who are all, like you said, not doing so well financially, right? And they're taking these opportunities. Like, why not? Because if these guys got tons of money they'll throw at us, why not do this, right? But like Sanjay was saying, it does kind of put their reputation in jeopardy a little bit, right? If it goes sour and they really push this, that could not look so good on Team Liquid. But yeah, it's definitely a money thing. Team Liquid is not doing this because it's just a great partnership. They're not doing it because they really believe Illuvium is the next esports game, as much as I like Illuvium. They're doing it because there's money there. That's it. There's no other reason. Illuvium is not really even in the state for it to be like, going to other teams and saying, yeah, this is the next big esports hit. Maybe it's kind of like a preview, but, in esport, it's funny how, we talk about esports, and I think one of the things people always tend to forget is that, the original esports are the ones you guys think of now when you think esport as a term. No developer built those games with the idea of like, I'm going to make an esport game. They just made a game and people started liking it and they started playing it a lot. And then it became an esport just because of the attention and the amount of players and the amount of competition that it was fostering, right? So, to say you're making an esport game is not really something you can do. It can
mean,
end up being an esport game. You can make a game that could possibly be catered towards esports, but to say you're going to make an esport game, it doesn't work that way because you got to have the players first, or no one gives a shit about competing in your crappy little Web3 game.
I'll give you catering towards esports because I think at this point there's a few different characteristics of a game that
that's not true. No, that's not true. That's only from a traditional sense. That's what I'm saying. Any game could technically be an esport, and there are games out there that you probably have never even heard of. There are games out there that you've never heard of that there are probably thousands of people competing in, trying to be the best. That's competitive. That isn't on the same level wise as like a LoL or a Dota 2 or something like that.
Well,
that is totally out there, and we'll see more and more of those.
Do you mean that any game can be an esport game in the sense that Super Mario World speedruns, like the leaderboard competition of who can run Super Mario the fastest? Is that esports or no?
I mean, if there's prizes, then yeah, why not? Basically esports is competitive gaming. It's competitive.
Okay,
right.
If that's
anything can be a competitive game.
I agree.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So anything can be a competitive game, but you're not going to be a competitive game if you don't have enough people that want to play. Then no one cares that there's a competition. Which is why it's hard to create an esports game, because you have to have velocity of players first and interest. And so going about the other way does not work. It doesn't. And we'll see it, and we've seen it time and time again, and it'll keep happening over and over again.
It's true. Okay, I concede to that. Jaxie's in the chat says, "What's up, guys? Sorry I'm late." He says, "Who's Randy? LOL. Hi, MTC. You're the most popular on the show, Randy, and let me being the most popular. No one seems. I mean, that is her name, everyone. That is her name. But let me ask you. I mean, what if esports teams are, maybe it's just for the financial motivation, right? But if they are looking for opportunities to associate themselves with Web3 games, what other Web3 games do you see currently that you think are viable maybe for esports teams to get behind?
Honestly, I think I have to wait on that a little bit longer because I've seen some games in development, but most of the time what I'm seeing when I come across a Web3 game is oh, it's in beta, but only for our 40 cool kids, and you could buy this NFT and wait for it, so I don't really rock with that necessarily. I like that people are getting their assets out there. I kind of respect it, but at the end of the day, I want a game I can play, and I really haven't seen something yet that I'm fawning over. That I'm this is it. But I do think that there's a lot of things at the ground floor, like Illuvium, there was another one I learned about the other day that's on the Epic Games Store. I forgot what it's called. I think it's Citizens something. And there's a few good ones out there, but it just comes a time and a place. And I think if they're smart, what they're doing with Illuvium, right, is really great, where, okay, maybe it's not what's how Stash was saying, the quality of which it could reach mainstream adoption, hooks all of these gamers right now, but getting in at the ground floor of something like this, where of course there could be money now and in the future, getting those associations, knowing and having that reputation. Oh yeah, we've been in Web3 for X amount of years or X amount of months, and we teamed up with this person at this date and this time. It shows commitment. It shows that they're interested. So I think getting in early, even if the quality is not exactly there yet, and being there for the journey is really important for these companies. So I give respect to Liquid for that.
But yeah, and it'll probably be the same case that us as participants in the space have that the longer you expose yourself to this, the more opportunity you have to get it right, So it's at least let's learn now. Team Liquid's let's learn now and dip a toe in and maybe make a mistake that we can use as a lesson in the future if there is any kind of mistake.
I mean, look at all the games that or all the people that jumped into things like Sandbox, all these major companies like Ubisoft and all of these major brands. They're jumping into the space. They're just testing the waters. They want to see what works and what doesn't. And of course, they wait for us plebs at the ground floor to build all of it, bring them all the examples, so that way they could do their own tweaks and changes and bring it to the mainstream. But it's all of which who does the work first.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right there. And yeah, I was about to say, Retro Mike, man, Retro Mike is throwing it down in chat, dude, in YouTube.
Some gift subs,
gifting
nice.
Gifting 5 memberships.
I didn't even get one.
Mike. We're gonna Stash. You're gonna have to hook MTC up after pro bono after the show.
We'll make her an official agent.
An official senior agent MTC. Agent Randy at your service.
Yep.
With the Zest, we gotta come up with the Zest gun. We gotta invent a gun that shoots Zest at people for you, Agent Randy.
That would be awesome.
Now, does that make the person that hits more awesome, or like wrecked?
Yeah.
I don't understand. I think more
it
awesome,
brings
right?
more zest and happiness.
Yeah. That's what I think. Yeah. I didn't know if it was like negative zestiness where you hit him with the gun and it de-zests them.
No. Oh my God, maybe it could be a zest freeze gun.
Yeah, we could have both. Like we have the anti-zester and then the zest. We'll get
GIA research and development on this ASAP. Okay, GIA research and development department. You guys are watching. You heard. Go out there and start working.
Wow, all the gifts dropping them, man. Wow.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate that, and thank you everyone for sticking with us and watching. Here, we are going to move on to our
one last comment on the Team Liquid thing. You know, I would be surprised honestly if this lasts longer than 1 year. I want it to, man. I would love for Team Liquid to like be the champion of Illuvium, and for them to like really push it. But I would be surprised if it goes longer.
Does anything last longer than a year anymore? Does anything?
That's a good point, I guess. I can easily make that prediction.
We live in the world of change, and it's ever increasing, man. Nothing lasts a year anymore.
Attention deficit, ADD all over the damn place. Let's go.
But no, all right. Speaking of what might be coming in the future, who knows? We're going to move on to our last segment here, our lightning round of this episode of Around the Metaverse, in a little bit of a fun one. So if you guys and we're going to go in order. So each of you guys, if you got stuck in the Metaverse, so stuck, like you're in there, you're a part of the Metaverse now. You don't exist in the physical world. You're in the Ready Player One, the Matrix, right? Which game would you want to be stuck in and why? So think like, you're Mario in Super Mario World or whatever. All right, we're going to go in order of Tardun, Sanjay, MTC, and Stash. Tardun, you're up first. If you got stuck in the Metaverse, which game would you want to be stuck in and why?
It'd probably right now be My Pet Hooligan, and it's just because the world's so big, but they just added the movie theater, so at least I'd have somewhere to be chilling, watching some TV, some movies.
Oh yeah. Fighting off them Zuckbots, man. You gotta hide in the movie theater. The Zuckbots are gonna get you.
Yep.
All right, Sanjay, you're up next, man. If you got stuck in the Metaverse, which game would you want to be stuck in and why?
I think I would like to, if I had to, I think I'll be okay with getting stuck in any of those Assassin's Creed games, because I think the city looks really pretty and everything looks pretty nice. As long as you're not like, either assassin or either the one getting assassinated, I think you're fine and you're living life good. So I think that'll be
well, no, man. I was gonna say you want to be you want to be the assassin, right?
I look you do, but I can't tell you that right now, because we're gonna keep ourselves hidden. So.
I'll have to kill you. If I tell you, I'll have to kill you. That's how it goes.
Everybody in here, with the chat as well.
All the secret agents, we understand that as being a secret agent or organization. We totally get that. Yeah,
you got that right.
Cyanide.
All right, Randy, you are up. If you got stuck in the Metaverse, which game would you want to be stuck in and why?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know. Part of my heart goes back to like Wii Fit. I used to love Wii Fit and like going on I don't know if you guys remember, but I used to love going on the little plate thing and running and doing the obstacle course. I used to think that was amazing. So definitely Wii Fit. And then there was another one I was thinking, Animal Crossing, because it's always so peaceful and you're just going for a fish. You know what I mean? On the DS. So, and RIP the DS. They did discontinue their internet services there. So salute to Nintendo DS.
Man, the Nintendo DS. The Nintendo DS and the PSP were two handheld consoles so ahead of their time, dude. I think the handheld console is dying as a thing.
Ooh,
but
Wii Sports Resort was good too. That was awesome.
I love the Wii, man. Wii was one of my favorite.
Wii Sports, and then they had the it was like sword fighting too. They had a Wii Sports
yes,
Resort, right? Yeah,
over the water
or something. Yeah. That one, yeah.
That would be a good place to be. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Look, all right. Well, this is Stash. We're gonna come to you right after this. But side note, I don't know anyone out there who had Xbox 360 back in the day. But when the Wii came out, Xbox 360 decided that they like needed to compete with the new motion video game stuff, and they came up with the Kinect.
Yeah.
And the Kinect was the worst motion capture camera and system
It was so bad.
I remember the Xbox version of Wii Sports that they had, where like you had to like duck and jump above like logs. It was like Temple Run, but Xbox Kinect.
It was so bad.
When it came out, I thought it was the future. It was gonna change everything, but then nothing happened. Nothing changed.
I spent $200 or whatever on it, like with the little camera, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
but
my
look
God,
where it's
I'm
taking
glad I
us
didn't.
now. Like people have like full thingies on, like Ready Player One type stuff. I'm seeing now, so like it has evolved somewhere.
Yeah.
But like
I don't know if we
in
can,
AR, you know.
I don't know if we can like say that Xbox Kinect was the reason for that. I think Xbox Kinect was
I don't think
like...
it was the reason, but I think it was definitely an evolution.
It was
of,
like what not to
you
do.
know,
Don't do
AR,
this.
VR type
Yeah,
stuff.
whatever you do, don't do this. Do it like the Wii did it. All right, guys, we got don't. We can't have a
It was
Kinect
phased out
failure.
incredibly fast.
Yeah.
Incredibly fast. It was phased out.
Yeah.
All right, Stash, you're last but certainly not least. If you got stuck in the metaverse, which game would you want to be stuck in and why?
Man, you know, I've been thinking about this while everyone else was answering, and every answer was really good and unique, man. My Pet Hooligan was a great one because they're building a really great metaverse. A Wii Sports, like being in the Wii, like that would be a great one. And Assassin's Creed, also awesome. So much there. I'm not going to lie, man. I'm going to have to go with Fortnite. There's so much there. Like when you talk about who's really building a true metaverse, like they really are truly in the lead, man. All the interoperability, you could be Peter Griffin in like true cartoon form, or then you're like
stuff is cool.
You're like Ghost Rider in like full 3D glory, right? I mean, there's so much, there's so much there. I think that's what I would love to be in Fortnite. There's so much to do. Now they got Legos dropping and you can race and shit. Like it's becoming the Oasis, man. It really is. I've said this before that I always felt like Epic with Unreal Engine and Fortnite were the biggest metaverse play, and if anyone was going to come out on top, they might be the one to really be like the Oasis, where it's like Fortnite is the Oasis. You go into Fortnite, it's everything, and we're getting there.
Fortnite is everything. Eventually that'll be the title of around the metaverse. Fortnite is everything when when they launch that.
Around the Fortnite.
Yeah, around the Fortnite. I mean, that's not a terrible name either, just because Fortnite. But well, I guess I'll go last because I'll add mine in. If I got stuck anywhere, I'd want to be stuck in like one of the Elder Scrolls worlds because I mean, like, you think any medieval place, anywhere there isn't like modern weaponry, the person with the most power is whoever trains like the most. There's no, you know what I mean? It's not about like, I have better guns or tech than you. It's like, all right, who did the most training and push-ups and like battle or studied the most books if you're a wizard or something? That's me. I'm top barbarian warrior. All right, no one's messing with me in the Elder Scrolls. But
no rules, no laws, nothing, man. You're a little on the scrawny side, but you're not that big of a dude, so you might, I don't know, bro. You might.
It's because we don't live in the Elder Scrolls, man. I gotta spend all day in front of a screen.
Barbarian character just from the get go, dude, and just max them out.
Instead of training outside like I should be for the for the upcoming Doom, I'm in front of a screen all day. I'm typing. We're slaves to the screen.
The upcoming Doom.
Hey, I'm just saying, it's not a bad time to go buy an abandoned missile silo out in Kentucky. I don't know if you guys. You can go out. You can $6 million. You can go buy it's like a 5-story, like bomb shelter missile silo that you can go doomsday prep the living H out of.
That's gonna be the next GIA headquarters. And so when everything goes down, I'm gonna bring all the Web3 people on like an arc. And then when everything goes, like, we'll emerge and we'll have all this amazing Web3 knowledge. It'll be invaluable in the apocalypse. Invaluable.
I saw this on business Twitter, and people were saying that whoever buys it should like essentially rent out like sections of it to like doomsday preppers and like say like, oh, you get this section.
100%,
it's like the
you vet them all out. It's a high end. Yeah. It's a high end thing. You vet them all out. Yeah.
like Fallout Vaults.
Yeah.
And it's, again, I don't know if you guys saw too with that, but Amazon
Fallout
Prime
coming
Fallout,
live action movie. What?
Yeah, it looks great. It looks great.
So good.
It's great.
But we're
I
off
didn't know
topic. Randy's got a hard stop, so we got. I mean, we are already running late, anyways. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. Thank you guys out there for watching. Stache, MTC, Tardun, Sanjay, thank you guys. Appreciate you coming out tonight. This was a fun one, and keep an eye out for next week. You guys watching? Oh, actually, before we hop off, make sure to head to the description and spread the love to the guys on the show here. Follow their channels, subscribe to them, like all of their videos. Do all of, go as far as you can by liking all of their social media till the point that it gets to be a little bit like, where maybe a restraining order might be in order. And
No,
then
don't listen to that. That's horrible advice. Don't listen to what he just said at all. Do not listen to what he just said at all. But wait, real quick before we go though, next week, Around the Metaverse coming to TikTok Live and also to Twitter Spaces.
Oh.
Expanding.
Hey.
Yeah, we're upgrading.
Bougie.
Tech. But that is all for tonight, folks. Catch us next week, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. That's all. We out.
Bye.